Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy, Ninja Josh Evans. I'm on Twitch streaming on Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're going to do a talk show real quick on Assassin's Creed Shadows. And you never laugh, well, late morning, okay, around morning time, around 1 something I think it was. Because I just got off at 12 on GTA trying to finish out certain things. Do you remember that? Okay, so remember how I told you that I would explain to you? Okay, so you know about traditions, right? You know about routines, you know about methods. You know about, spirit filled, you know about practice makes good. You know about understanding. So to you guys, it's change, okay? It's change around your scenery. And these people next door to me don't care. They don't give a damn about anybody. It's always about them changing whole entire environments and being mad at people indoors. I don't really care for that crap. But anyways, you know how it is when people want to change the scenery and change all the things. Well, for them, it's about change. For me, it is not about change. It is about staying the way I am. It is no disrespect to them, but they take it as disrespect. Because they do not like the person that stays the same. That is the problem right there. The problem is not me, it's them. Because they want to change something that they cannot change for the seasons to come, okay? So that's how I would say it. They would say all the seasons of the months. I would say just the seasons, okay? Because they got that tradition of being who I am, alright? So I'm not going to argue with, their moments of what they want to be. I'm just a traditional person that stays as I am. You see what I'm saying? So why is there a point to argue over change when there is no change that's going to ever happen unless it's necessary? You see what I'm saying? So there's no point to argue with that. When somebody's set in their ways to be as they are, you leave them alone and let them be as they are. Or you're going to find out the hard way. You're not going to be able to override them because they're not going to listen to you. If you're set in their ways, they're set in their ways. That's not disrespectful at all. That's just them being yourself. Their natural self. So I chose to be within and conquer within. I do not believe going out there because if you conquer without, you're without. I'm not really without. Okay, those people are without there. Alright? And all they believe in is talking down on the person and saying, well, that's all you do. That's all I need to do. Unless you got a better reason, I don't see any better reason. So they always try to look for these reasons to break you of something, change you of something. And I keep telling them I'm just going to keep going back to the exact same thing that I want to be. Because it's my calling that I like to be as. Them, on the other hand, they got their calling, what they choose to be. Alright, so some of us are really dedicated to be as we are. While others are trying to ruin us for who we are. So when I look at all the chosen ones, I look at a bunch of damn connivable, spiritual warfare that is unnecessary that was not done by God. It was done by people's actions. I see a bunch of selfish chosen ones that could be a little bit more mannerable with respect within the chosen path. Now, the devil tries to persuade you to change who you are. But God does not tell you to change who you are because God is what made you who you are. Just because you take simulation, go in it, and you start fighting around with a sword, for example, or a gun, doesn't mean you are the devil. The moment you go blowing up things on a video game. Let's do this, for example. Doesn't mean you're evil because you decided to do something like this, for example. Let's see. Okay, this is just an optical illusion line. But as Jesus cast the devil out of that person into the pigs, the same thing is done on this. So in the end, it really is not all that bad as people put it out to be. But people will find ways to make it bad. They will find ways to, bring hurt upon a person from their simulation line, like algorithms and ad blocks. They will try methods to break down a person's heart. They will keep people away from that person and treat that person like crap, just to change that person's perspective. They are mean people for that. They are very cruel people for that. Now we can either choose to stoop down into their bullshit, or we can just keep on carrying on and maybe have love ourselves, because they're going to keep us away from it. And it's the new bitter parents. There's a new bitter parent act that they're doing, okay? So they're going to sit there and keep it around. Like if you're around 39, you're trying to look for a 39-year-old woman, and you're a 39-year-old man, okay? We'll use that as an example. You're still young, okay? You're all going to be young. Even when you're up there, up in the age of wherever it comes up to the highest, you're still young in your heart. Understand that. You're still beautiful. You are beautiful as can be. But what I'm trying to get at, okay, is that they would still tell that person, you're not allowed to be around this person. These are grown-up people that know better, okay? But some of these people are now playing it off where they don't want to come up around anybody because of the case that they know that they're going to get hurt no matter what. So they stay away. We stay in. We stay out of their way because we're just in their way. And then we meet these people. Oh, my stomach growling at me again. I'm not going to listen to it. Yes, you are hearing my stomach growling at me. They're saying, oh, it's what I want some morning breakfast. And I said, you know what? You wait a minute. Get coffee, so that's good enough. But the point is, I'm not going to argue with these doctors, argue with these people, when I know better than where I'm going. And when it comes down to, they can't even send the one actual person out that I asked for. Like maybe somebody I can talk to for, management or doctors and stuff like that. Then there's no point of arguing with these people because they're not going to help out. They're just not going to help you. They're not going to allow to help. So there's no point of arguing with this concept when we know it's not going to go anywhere. The best thing we can do is move out and move away and find a new place because they just don't care. And there will be a lot of people that won't care because they're selfish like that. I do care. I wouldn't be showing this game. I wouldn't be showing this broadcast. I wouldn't be showing the stuff that I do if I did not care. So I don't want to hear it on the other behalf of that person who talks all that snap because there's no point. I want to hear potential on the action game field. I don't want to hear about, oh, well, you're in the wrong for doing this and this and this and this. When I'm not. I'm not in the wrong because I haven't done it. I mean, I play the game the right way. I've been bad to the bone about the video game. I showed no mercy at the illusion and said, you know what, it's just a video game, don't take it personal. Others take it so personal. Then we can't play the game the right way. And this is just somebody trying to pick on somebody on the video game field because any other person would play bad to the bone and ruthless, more ruthless than I play. So I now know that they're just playing mind games with people. And those type of people are cruel. They're just cruel people. They have no heart. They have no niceness to them at all. They just like to pick on people. That's all they do. Pick, 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 pick. But I'm not picking. I'm actually playing the game. I'm actually getting it done. There's a difference. Especially ones that sit there and say, well, these ones that have snowball fights. Because they say no one plays with snowballs. Well, maybe you don't, but maybe I do. Maybe I find it fun to play. Maybe I find it fun to play with snowballs and have a snowball fight for a few minutes. Maybe I have a sense of humor around that. Maybe Collide, I'm not going to be like you, such a down on the whole entire point. Maybe I want to have fun. So to give you a point, it is serious to me, dude. Because some people are just so bitter-minded that they can't see their own damn freaking issues on their own damn things. So don't pick on me, dude, because you got a different way of order. But maybe I have a different way of tradition. And maybe I'm not going to be like you, running out there every 5 seconds, trying to change something that cannot be changed. Maybe we just don't change. Maybe you change. Maybe that's for you. It's not for me. But I'm going to tell you, I had a weird-ass dream, and that dream was not changed. It was so real about staying as it is. Oh, well, I don't even want to know where I'm Connie. Because you go down this big, giant shaft darkness with a vehicle. That would be a cat. So the vehicle, it was a dark vehicle in a dark place, and there was aliens. And I was like, I don't want to know. I'm just going to drive straight through. So once I got to this layer, it opened up this door area. And there was a whole bunch of robots that I had to go straight through. So I went through all these robots, and I went down some kind of like water terminal. It's like a water terminal plate. Okay, line. It has water going down that plate line. When I went all the way down there, there was a whole entire desert area. But it was all dark down there. You couldn't even really see very well other than to see the sand and see a little bit of the sand. You could tell that there's sand there. If you threw flares there, it would attract all the attention of aliens. So you can't very much change what you cannot see. And it was a weird ass dream, and then that's when I woke up. I was like, I don't want to know. That's just creepy. But the whole point is, this stuff is so realistic, okay? And that dream right there was only for a few seconds because I have weird dreams. I'm not saying that it's real. I'm saying that it's one of those sci-fi dreams. Because some things like that just happen. Because I played aliens. I played a lot of games, and I thought about a lot of ideas. But the whole point is, it wasn't so much about changing it. It was about expanding it to the original way that it originally was. So the thing is, to be honest to you, I'm not about change, okay? I'm about staying as I am. So some people, they're about moving forward and changing everything that they see. Maybe they just don't care for it. I do care for the past history because I like that past history of who I was. Because that's who I am. So I'm not changing who I am, okay? Because I'm another that wants to change the future and change all the people. I'm not doing that. I will stay as I am with the new future. I will have both. And stay with both. Regardless if you like it or not. So you're going to have a large problem with me. All of you. Because you're not going to be able to handle me. Because I'm not changing who I am. That's the problem. If you try and get somebody to change, it does not change. So that makes it stupid on your part. Because you have no control over my actions or choice. Now, usually when you get change, there's problems behind it. There's large problems. You've already seen what it did to Destiny. Oh, we want to change this, we want to do that. Pissed off a lot of players, didn't it, Slide? Pissed off a lot of people. Well, guess who pushed change to happen? Stupid terrorist Donald Trump, stupid Elon Musk, and stupid Prime Minister from UK. Oh, scum. They pushed it. They bought up businesses to change a lot of stuff. And they changed it. But they didn't change us, did they? Did you change us? No. None of you guys changed us. We're still as we are. The only thing that changed is the virus. So did you really think that change was going to happen? Maybe for you it did, because you were willing to change into that kind of method. But we stayed as we are. So you go ahead and be selfish to the planet. Selfish to what God has given you. And you go ahead and change God's plan. You go ahead and change everything else. Wasting your time. This is life. It's just the way it is. So that's how I believe. I don't believe in changing an outlook of stupidity or idiocracy. It better be a damn good reason. That's how I feel about it. And I'm going to stay the way I am, regardless if you like it or not. Because there was no point. If they cannot appreciate you for who you are, for the aura of who you are, they cannot appreciate you at all. God made us this reason for a reason. We were all born with certain things. Some people were born with attitudes, kind of like a viper. Some animals were born with an attitude where they get pissed off every 5 seconds, called a bobcat. They can't help that. They don't know what the heck they're going to trust because they forget that whole point in their life. What the heck is that? Oh, okay, I remember now. Yeah, it just hits them. Fish are born with memory loss. They can't help it. They'll remember a second, then they'll forget it. Then they'll remember a second, they'll forget it. The difference between me is I got up and down motions. So I'm basically just going through things in my life. I'm being alone because of the case that people think they'll never be ready for the person. Or maybe they just don't care enough to be around the person because they're just not into that person. Maybe I'm just a waste of their time. Maybe they simply do not care. Because they don't. They won't care about it. Because they got better things and they got bigger people that they want to be around. Maybe that's the case. Maybe all they want to do is be friends with me. That's fine. I can't change the outcome of this. So I just thought I'd let you all know. This is just the way it is. It is sad, but it's okay. Life carries on. Maybe in the afterlife, I'll find that you're lucky. It's not looking very well on my part. It's looking more like people say things, never happens. So I got to the point where I just let it be whatever it is because I don't believe that's ever going to happen. It has to be shown. They say you don't have faith enough in yourself. Oh, I have faith. But I've heard so many excuses now. So many ways of answers. But it's not going to stop me from being a good-hearted person. I believe that they're trying. I do believe that they're trying. But I'm telling you, if it's that much of stress to go for something, don't worry about it. I'll still be the good person that helps out because that's in my nature. But it's not worth the hassle of changing something or trying to push this somebody that's not going to ever be that kind of way. It's not worth the hassle. Because you're hassling yourself over it. And I'm not doing it to you. You people are breaking your own hearts. In the end. Now, if you're willing to come up and actually get to know this person, you're going to find out I'm always going to be this way. This is just who I am. Don't you get it? It's who I am. And you cannot change who that person is. That person has to be willing to change into that matter. And maybe they're not willing. Maybe they're willing to stay as they are. This is the problem with people is they can't appreciate people for who they are. They always want to change somebody into control. And there's your problem. I identified it. So there you have it. Now you can get mad, throw a temper tantrum in the background, get mad about it all you want. It's not going to fix any of it. It's just going to make more problems on you. Or you can accept it for what it is and understand that maybe these people do love from a distance and maybe these people have no choices to be as they are indoors doing their own thing because these people won't ever get it outdoors because they just don't care for it indoors. That's their problem. Because they're always constantly trying to change people from the outdoors. Out there. Always changing outdoors. Ones indoors are staying as they should be. And that's why they don't fall into 90% of the problems, because 90% of the problems come from change. There you have it. So argue if you want. People are always constantly on the rush to do certain things, and then something messes up. If you leave it in place, you leave it alone, and you don't change that outlook, it stays in place. Kind of like this stone. So there's your logic. Argue if you want, but this is original. Original should never be changed. Or you could ruin it. Okay. So there is how I feel about that whole entire point. Now I leave it in place. Alright, y'all. May y'all have a blessed day, or blessing, wherever you're currently at. Peace and many thousands to cover.